Hey guys, what's up? Dabuz here, and I've been promising this for a while, so I'm finally getting to it. It's my Olimar / Alpha Guide for Smash 4. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm one of the best Smash 4 players and Olimar players in the world right now. And yeah, I'm just making this guide on competitive tournament Olimar. And for this guide, I'm just going to assume if you're watching this, that you know a bit about Olimar, that you know like what his move properties are, like the different properties of his Pikmin colors. And if you don't know that, I have 2 links in the description below. One is just literally a frame data and the damage listing for all his moves. Another one is about a year-old guide by a player named Miran for Olimar, handwritten, and it goes through like all the advanced properties of his different Pikmin and his moves. And so if you don't know that stuff, I suggest reading it before listening to this guide. And if you do, then let's just get right into it. And I'm going to be using Sheik as my test dummy for this guide because it's just fun to beat up on Sheik. Let's be honest here. Also, I'm making this guide by myself. No one's helping me in the lab or anything doing this, so I'm going to try to show things the best I can by myself. And, yeah. And so, before I actually get, like, into strategies, I guess, quick notes about Olimar is I think he is an upper mid-tier character. He struggles versus most of the top tiers. He only really does well versus, like, Diddy Kong and Rosalina. And he does alright versus Pikachu and some other characters. But overall, he struggles versus most of the top tiers, and even most of the high tiers give him a lot of trouble. Which is why I don't really seem to use him in tournaments as much as I used to. And generally speaking, the way you want to play Olimar is you want to approach him as sort of like a zoner and grappler hybrid, I guess. He's a strong key-play game, and he relies on a very few moves, but they're very good moves, the ones that are good. He is not an easy character to pick up because you have to micromanage the Pikmin colors, the order, just the entire mechanics of Pikmin themselves, and he has a very polarizing toolkit where some of his moves are really good, and then in some situations he's just really bad, and so you have to have a very good awareness of just how the game works to play around his strengths and his weaknesses. And you can pretty much play him offensively or defensively, as however you feel like you just want to play him. And so getting on to his strengths is he's a very strong character. You hit someone, oh, it's a lot of damage. And of course, like I said, there's a lot of range on his moves. He can control a huge amount of space really easily. I'll talk about purple Pikmin later, but purple Pikmin deserve just a spot of their own in terms of talking about his strengths, because they're amazing. He pretty much outcamps everyone in the cast. I don't think there's a character that can just go toe-to-toe in terms of raw damage output from throwing out projectiles. He's also one of the smallest characters in the game, making it very easy to avoid different attacks like crouching under aerials or just making people whiff like up tilts and up smashes up close. And as a result, he's just very annoying to fight against. Like, you can make people frustrated, you can make them impatient, and you can just win the mental battle just to how the character works. And generally speaking, he's really good against characters that are big, slow, or just naturally defensive and campy. Of course, his weaknesses also pretty significant. First thing is he has awful mobility. He's one of the slowest characters. In the air, on the ground, fall speed-wise, everywhere. He has no hitbox on his recovery, meaning you can just destroy him when he's recovering. Spikes, consistent edge guards, etc., etc. Heat minus up B is sort of like Rob, where it has a limited amount of fuel, and so if you just keep hitting him off stage, he'll eventually die. Pikmin have item priority essentially, and what that means is basically you can't trade with Pikmin. So you're in the air, and you throw a forward air, and Sheik throws out forward air. Even if the forward air is spaced properly to hit Sheik, her forward air will always beat yours. And that's just because Pikmin, when they get hit, they lose their hitbox, but they don't stop the opponent's hitbox. And if your opponent's in the air, you're on the ground, you do a forward smash, do an aerial, same thing happens. If you're in the air and your opponent does a ground move, once again, you lose that trade. And the only time you don't directly lose the trade and take damage when Pikmin attacks are involved is when both opponents are on the ground, you use a forward smash, the opponent uses a dash attack. And a lot of times, something weird happens where you or your opponent and your Pikmin will be stuck like in a clash, like stun, I guess. But Olimar can move because Pikmin are items essentially and separate from Olimar. And that's the only time a trait benefits you is when it's 2 grounded moves clashing with each other. And you'll see what I mean. Well, you'll see, yeah, if you play Olimar, you'll see what I mean when you just like use grounded moves against opponents. But otherwise, yeah, you can't trade. He has a lot of trouble landing, and he has a lot of trouble getting off the ledge against good traps. He has really good kill power, but he has a lot of trouble landing his killing moves. He's very lightweight, He has really bad out-of-shield options, mainly because his grab is so slow. And just general characters that have fast, use swords, or can reflect his smashes are really troublesome. And so, let's get into his actual strategies gameplay. And so, first I'm going to talk about like the main moves you can be using for damage. First one I'm going to talk about, grab. Grab is massive range, of course. And the damage output off grabs is ridiculous. Like, I'll just show a generic grab combo with him. So like down throw, down tilt, jab jab, down throw, re-grab, up air. Oh, I missed a second up air. Let's try this again. Also can't use it. Can't start with blue there. So down throw, down tilt, jab jab, down throw, up. It's going very well. Ba-bam, ba-bam. Just like that, 52% damage, single combo. I didn't do it as tight as I could have. It was a little bit late for me here, but yeah. Just like that, 52%, you do things like up throw, up air, you up throw, double up air even, down throw, forward smash, and you just basically have a lot of different like options for your combos. At high percents, you always have things to do until like super high percents, I guess. And just in general, his grab game is really scary because of his damage output plus his resets. And so yeah, that's one of his main things, especially with pivot grab, which I'll talk about more later. Basically, pivot grab is an abusable move that has almost no cooldown. Next up, forward smash. Forward smash, while it doesn't really combo give you like extremely high damage, the damage IP you get for how safe it is absurd. Like mid-range forward smash, 10% damage. Max range forward smash, 6% damage. Close range, 14%. And keep in mind, these are all basically safe on shield. So you can just kind of throw it out willy-nilly, someone shields it, whatever, just do something else. Also, you can, with forward smash, launch them off the side of the stage, like so. Boom. You have to be at the way edge of the stage for that to work, but it's a little nice gimmick. And finally, for his main damage up move is side B. It's not much damage by itself, just one tick of damage per like Pikmin hit, unless it's a white. Yeah, I get a white out quickly. Yeah, side B is it's not much damage except for whites by itself, but it's just a normal way to harass the opponent. If your opponent's like, just taking 1 point of damage every like half of a second, and it happens over the course of a match, that's gonna start adding up to a good like 40 or 50% damage per game, like 30% per stock, maybe more, maybe less, and it's just really annoying for opponents to deal with. Also, Pikmin, they block projectiles, so say Samus does a charge shot and you throw Pikmin at it, stops, no matter how big it is, unless it goes, well, yeah, even goes through, it doesn't matter because Pikmin are hurt boxes essentially, so anything that activates on hurt boxes, like I'll show right now, Sheik's down B, for example, will activate on Pikmin. So let me show this quickly. Boom, boom. Bouncing. Oh, oops. Set this control. Like I said, it's late over here. Pikmin does it down B. See how that just bounces off the Pikmin? So that can be used for things like, Sheik side B, down B, Ike side B, etc., etc. And some other things note is ways Olimar can string into these damage moves. I showed down tilt and jab before. Down tilt is skill grab. At low percents, at higher percents you can even do like, let me get this off control. You like, like down tilt into forward air, down tilt and up air if they DI into you, or they just don't DI at all. And then at lower percents, mid percents, you have jab, jab, grab into Olimar stuff. At higher percents, you can do instead jab, jab into tech chases. And so let's put them at 80%. Jab, jab. Read the no tech, up smash, death. Guaranteed combo if they don't tech that. And if Sheik were a tech, you could read the tech roll in place and up smash at shooting, whatever. You could read the tech roll away and up smash or grab. You can read the tech roll behind. And basically the idea is it forces the opponent in 50-50s. If the opponent were to jump out of the situation instead after the jab, you can try chasing their jump or chasing their landing, whatever you want to do. Just know the jab always gives you some sort of good follow-up. along with down tilt. And with down tilt specifically, you can use because down tilt has a huge hitbox. You can basically bait out attacks and punish. Like from here, say Sheik whiffs a forward tilt, free down tilt, free follow. If Sheik were to do a forward air from the air, you easily get under that forward air and hit her or trade at worst. And just a lot of times you can use down tilt as like an anti-air, I guess, and just a whiff punish move because of how fast it is and how much range it covers and how it makes Olimar lower to the ground. And jab. Jab is pretty punishable up close. You shield grab with most characters, but if you're behind someone's shield, it's really hard to punish that actually. In fact, some characters don't even have punishes on it. And it's just a good move in general because of how fast it is. You know, it's a jab. Jabs are generally really good for just kind of throwing out there. And next next, I guess, set move we want to talk about is side B. And specifically I want to talk about purple side B, because purple side B is bonkers. So, simple combo right there. Purple side B into grab. Use some like purple side B into down air as like a tech chase. Percentage. Boom. You know, you can do, if someone shielded the purple side B, you can read the shield, grab it. If someone rolled, you can do purple side B, read the roll in, forward smash. You can even, if you have two purples, I'll try to get that out quickly. You can do purple-purple combos, which sounds silly. It is a bit silly, but it's cool. Yeah, purple side B is just free pressure. It's not damage, really, because it's only, like, 6 damage. Which isn't bad, but it's not that great. But you just use something like, you know, purple side B, get a nice setup going there. At higher percent, you know, it still strings into itself. So there, and you read the check, and you go whatever, and just, you can get so many follow-ups off this, and purple side B is a safe pressure tool, because you throw it, and side B doesn't have much cooldown, of course. So you can just throw it and do whatever you want. It's very hard to punish Olimar for doing it, it's very hard to get in his face, unless they have a very good read, and just, overall, you kind of spam it. Just make sure not to lose your purples when doing this, like throwing them off stage, or letting them be hit by your opponent and die, because that's really bad. And so now we cover, like, the main moves you're going to use for, like, neutral for your damage. I'm going to talk about how to actually use the character and use these moves. And so, in neutral, your main tools for just like spacing, forward smash and grab. Specifically, pivot grab and standing grab. And the reason for this is because you're able to cover most approaches. I talked about this a bit before, but Olimar's main strength is just his keep away game. Not necessarily defensive, but just keeping him at a certain distance. Which, generally speaking, is somewhere between here, where you get strong with forward smash, but you can't really be rolled into, and here, where your forward smash will whiff, but if your opponent jumps at you, it will also whiff, gives you a free grab punish, they can't roll into you, and you have enough time to react to things like dash forward shield or dash attack. And so generally somewhere in this range is good. You can also side B here. And this range also lets you go from just doing like forward smashes into dash grabs, or into pivot grabs you want to be defensive. So let's go to jump side B or in place side B. You can do your main options here. And you can still do down tilt if someone whiffs a move from like here, maybe look closer like here. Someone jumps in, you do come down to there. You can still just do like roll into jab, or read roll in, jab them. You can do whatever you want to shut down approaches. And Olimar mainly wants to shut down as many approaches as possible. So if you have an idea of what your opponent wants to do as an approach, you can play around that, and you still naturally cover like 3 different things. So say if I'm a Sheik, I know like going for forward airs, I can naturally just go pivot grab to stop the forward airs. It will outrange it, punish her for it, but pivot grab will also stop a dash attack that's not spaced properly, a dash grab that is a bit too quick, a roll in. And the only thing wrong with your punish is a Sheik who charges needles or goes for bouncing fish. And if I think Sheik's gonna start doing needles or bouncing fishes, instead I can opt to get a bit closer and go for forward smash to interrupt her when she charges, to get her on the start of bouncing fish, or just make her so she bouncing fishes over me, and I can punish her grab, which is her bouncing fish with a quick turnaround grab. And of course, if she rolls in, forward smash still covers that. It would still cover just a raw dash grab attempt. Pivot grab would also cover the dash shield grab, and you just cover all these different options really easily. I especially like using pivot grab for anti-airs, mainly just because it's so much damage. It's so scary to jump at Olimar when you start doing that. And if people somehow get in, which is, they just have to get a good read on Olimar to get in or apply a lot of pressure, you can always jab him. It's a nice, simple get out move. But one thing I like about jab a lot with Olimar is that if you start rolling a lot, it's really annoying because most characters can't go roll and then forward smash from the max distance of their roll safely and hit the opponent for pressing a button. Olimar can just go, oh, I am in front of you, I want to be in front of you. Roll away, forward smash. If someone tries pressing a button, they get hit. If someone tries reacting to your roll, they're probably getting hit. And the next time you can just do a jab instead of rolling because the opponent might try to preempt that roll. Or you can even forward smash, or you can just roll behind them. And because you cover so much distance so easily, after the roll, it's just really obnoxious, more so than most characters. You'll see me with Olimar literally just go roll, 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 forward smash. And it works at top level play because of how annoying it is to fight an Olimar, because how scary it is. And if you think someone who's passive, this is when side B becomes good. Because you can simply go, oh, my opponent's waiting. You're just charging needles right at the edge of the stage waiting for an opening. Jump back side B. Nice damage, whatever. Side B up. Charging me, forward smash. You're charging me, pivot grab. Charging me, roll behind him, etc., etc. And the idea is a side B forces the opponent to either shield, which you can say, okay, you shielded. This time, instead of side B, you run up and grab. Or your opponent starts going really aggressive with dash attacks. You say, okay, side B, forward smash, side B, shield, jab, punish. And the opponent basically can't stay in place. They can start running away from you, and if they start doing that, you can say, okay, you're running away from me. Let's get rid of Pikmin I don't want. Get like a purple out, throw the white at them. Cycle through the red. Just do whatever you want. If they're trying to be too passive, they can't even side B them. Trying to be too defensive and just run away. And so yeah, side B, it's mainly for that. And then when you get some with side B, I talked about this a bit before, but you can use side B to kind of bait out options. So certain opponents might be like, okay, I'm getting hit by Pikmin. Attack the Pikmin. You can get, oh, you're going to forward tilt the Pikmin. You can run up, forward air, someone trying to hit the Pikmin off. Maybe next time instead of going for the forward tilt, they just try to dash grab you. You can go, okay, forward smash, now they're taking massive damage. Next time they try to shield the Pikmin hits, which you can do, you just go, okay, you're shielding, run and grab you, they roll, etc., etc. And side B just lets you kind of condition your opponent, see what they use as their main option, and punish that. Depending on the character, you'll see different options. A character like DK, for example, a lot of them will just charge you because they can't get rid of Pikmin safely. Or characters like Sheik tend to get rid of Pikmin with like nairs and forward airs and forward tilts because they can do it quickly. Also note that when someone hits a Pikmin, that there's hit lag, meaning there's extra time to punish them. They have to just whiff the move regularly. What else? Also, when you pluck Pikmin, you can pluck Pikmin and immediately cancel. So you can go Pikmin pluck forward smash, or Pikmin pluck side B, Pikmin pluck roll, Pikmin pluck pivot. Oh, try again. I messed up. Anyway, the idea is Pikmin pluck into anything is really good. You should never have an excuse to not have Pikmin once you're on the ground. Unless you literally only got to touch the ground for a frame. You should always have at least one Pikmin on you. And just use this to your advantage. It's not like you're committing to anything when you pluck a Pikmin. Because of this. Generally speaking, I like to get one purple Pikmin in my lineup at all times. Because I talked about before how you can just use it to annoy the opponent. You can wall them out. You can pressure them. You can do anything you want with purple Pikmin. Go for setups, read, safety, whatever you want. So I almost always try to have one purple Pikmin out at a time. I'm talking a bit more about the lineup later. But at the start of each match, make that your goal to get purple Pikmin out and use that to supplement your normal walling game with forward smashes and grabs. One thing to note though is that when it comes to using side B, if you start side B'ing too much and your opponent reads it, they can easily just say, okay, you're side B'ing, jump in, dash grab you. Because side B, unless it's a purple Pikmin of course, has an actual hitbox. Your opponent can take advantage of that. So I wouldn't use it too much. Also, you find yourself stranded by using too much side B, no Pikmin left, you're kind of screwed. So don't use that. And then when it comes to purple specifically, which I'll talk more about later, I don't like having two because you lose a lot of range. If you have two purple Pikmin, that only means you have one move that has a decent grab range. Or one Pikmin has a decent grab range and decent forward smash range. And having three I always find just not good, because you have no range. And now what happens when you hit your opponent, you put him in the air? For the most part, Olimar's juggle game is pretty weak. Like I said, he's very slow on the ground, and a lot of characters, like Sheik for example, actually can just jump away, bouncing fish away, and Olimar can't keep up. You know, you can challenge Olimar's aerials really easily with any attack. So it's not like you can scare the opponent with up airs and they can just down air 3 most of the time. They have time to start the attack. Similarly, Olimar's frame data isn't the greatest, so he can't like frame trap people that well because he's also floaty. And just generally speaking, Olimar doesn't really juggle people air to air well, but he's good at catching people when they're landing because the grab range is so significant and their side Bs are annoying. If you know your opponent landed too far away, you can just throw side B, get some damage as they land, put them in that weird scenario with Pikmin again. If your opponent's landing next to you, you can start going for paper grab mix-ups, reading where they're going to be and when they're going to throw an attack out. You can even up smash if you want to be risky. And overall, though, don't expect too much out of his juggle game. He doesn't have anything special. It's just a lot of good reads, and overall trying to play it safe and bait your opponent to go to a ledge. And so talk a bit more about his air game. For the most part, Olimar doesn't want to go in the air, even in neutral, because his aerials have very bad range. Like, probably some of the worst range for aerials in the game, especially considering he's a zoning-based character. The only aerial I really use in neutral to like wall my opponent out, or just for safe, not even safe pressure, but some pressure, is fair. Because you can usually go fair, jump. And you have to do this like buffered aerial, so jump, and as soon as you press jump, do the aerial, and it buffers it in the first frame of your jumping. And you can, just cancel the jump. We'll cancel air with the jump, you can do a jab, whatever you want. But even then, isn't that safe, and of course can be beat by any attack. So I wouldn't use it that much. It's just if you see someone like jumping at you, or like they're trying to dash at you, whatever, you can just go for it as like an occasional mix-up. Otherwise, though, his aerials are just really punishable and not worth using that much neutral, like not as a consistent option. Now let's talk about killing with Olimar, because I said this is pretty hard for Olimar, and it just, yeah. So for the most part, Olimar wants to kill people by putting them on the ledge, because his main kill moves are going to be something along the lines of, well, any purple Pikmin attack. The purple Pikmin, no matter what, just like kill. The blue up throw kills probably around 140 on Sheik, but good players will oftentimes read the fact they have a blue Pikmin next and just avoid getting grabbed. Simple as that, they'll just play run away. Forward smash is probably your best way to kill people in neutral, just because you throw it out there. If it hits, great, you killed him. If it doesn't hit, whatever, you're not really that punishable. Down smash is more just a generic, you read the roll, kill them kind of thing. Someone is in front of you, not sure if they're going to let go, shield, attack, or roll behind you. Just down smash. If it connects, cool. If it doesn't connect, not much cooldown. Nothing special, though. Actually, one special thing about it, and that's if someone's like right in Olimar and he does a down smash, there's a chance he gets 2 hitboxes to connect at once. I didn't get there. It's hard to replicate, but basically, it's so hard to replicate. Try one more time. But basically, when someone's like inside Olimar or Olimar's inside them, if you down smash them, there's a chance you get both Pikmin on each side to hit him, and if that happens, that happened there. See, 22 damage. That was a lot more knockback. Yeah, with 2 purples, that's like 40 damage. And if you charge on someone's shield, their shield's probably gonna be broken. So yeah, it's just a good option. It's also, with double down smash, relatively safe. Even just one hit downs, or one side hitting down smash is pretty safe. Back air I find to be a good move to use at kill percents because it's not really safe, but it's scary. Because this powerful. I would probably kill Sheik around 100% to be honest, maybe a bit later. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit later, probably 120 mid stage, but 100 near ledge. But yeah, it's not safe, you can't, auto cancel it. You can, but you can't jump out of it. It's still not safe to on block or on whiff, but just a scary option to throw it. Keeps your opponent from jumping at you or just letting go shield at the wrong times. And people don't want to challenge it generally when that kill percentage because they'll die. And finally, up air is just a good kill option. It's probably my favorite kill option. Because you just have to simply read a jump. Someone jumps, you just go. You jumped, up air. If someone air dodges, you up air. You can even do an up air when someone's on the ground and kill them. Like that almost killed 115 on the ground. And just up air is pretty nice. Relatively quick cooldown. You can You can jump with it and land, do whatever you want with no lag. It just does, only covers above you. But landing any of these things in neutral is very hard because of his lack of range, plus how predictable his kills are. So a lot of times Olimar gets his kills like when you get put on the ledge, because you can simply just make hard reads on the ledge and kill people as early as 80 with like purples. Like someone's on the ledge, 10 she's on the ledge right here, she has a regular getup. I forward smash regular getup at 80, she's dead. Next time I go for an up air because I read the jump, she's 100%, she's dead because she jumped. Or next time I go for a back air, same thing. And then next time I read her holding to a ledge, so I trump her and back air her, which by the way is amazing use for back air. Favorite use for back air is honestly just trumping people because it's so good. And yeah, they're dead. And then next time you go for an up smash for you, they're dead. And so generally speaking, he can recover ledge options well. But as a result, you just want to go for hard reads with him. Don't take super risks like going off stage and going for like, I don't know, like a down air or whatever, unless you have a good read. But just go for things you think are going to kill, be worth the risk. You can also want to be safe, just go for forward smashes. A lot of times I find myself doing something like jump up there on the ledge, immediately up smash where they're going to roll. Because a lot of people will be tempted to, after that jumping up there or back air, to roll on stage. And you can bait that out and punish super hard. You can also forward smash if they can do regular get up, etc., etc. And Olimar is going to be a lot of baiting options in the ledge and just playing general mind games of, hey, look, I did this. It looks laggy, it looks punishable, but it's not. There's not much else to say about the ledge game, I don't think. And generally speaking, actually I should mention, even though I mentioned how blue Pikmin are pretty easy to read, oh you have blue Pikmin, you go upward kill. Blue Pikmin still kill with smashes and aerials just fine. So a lot of times having something like blue purple at kill percents is really nice. Or even like double blue purple is super nice, because that means 2 or 3 Pikmin will kill with the grab, and one of them essentially sets up into grab or other pressure. And so next I want to talk about though, when things go bad with Olimar. Because this is why Olimar isn't a high-tier character, I don't think. Because when he's been into a bad spot, he's in an awful spot. Landing option-wise, actually let me go Battlefield for this, because I can show off more things. But generally speaking, landing option-wise, Olimar is really just not good. Another way to put it. He's floaty, he has low air momentum and speed. He doesn't have any move to make him fly through the air quickly. And for the most part, your landing options are just elevating your opponent in the air, like air dodging at the right time, doing fast for air dodges when you can, trying to down air people if they try to wait for your air dodge, neutral air them maybe. Generally speaking, with Olimar, I like having platforms available just so I can land on them instead of being forced to go to the ground. And the only mix-up really has to go land on stage is up B. So when you up B, you float, and you can cancel off up B. And so I learned this from, I think, a player named Green Beast in Chicago. You just start up B, and then you just go up B, hold it for a second, fast forward Nair. And it's very nice because Nair on shield is basically safe. It's hard to punish that on shield. It crosses people up. It catches people off guard. When you fast forward, it tends to outrange a lot of up airs if they don't space and timed perfectly. And because you're floating with up B, you can kind of hold the float out for a bit. Of course, the more Pikmin have, the longer you can hold it out for, and the more you can move with it. But you just generally be pretty annoying with this move. You can even up B and then go down air, whatever you want. Oh, even sometimes I just do up B and float to the ledge. It's just another weird thing to do. Who's gonna float to the ledge with up B? You can say I am. I'm gonna float to the ledge with up B. And then you can next time float to the ledge, and then instead of going to the ledge, you just land on stage in there or whatever. That's why it's a really great option. That's why I like platforms, because you can choose to land that platform and shield. The next time landing, go through the shield. You can also do things just like Footstone with Olimar's general landing options for any character though. Also you can use Olimar's down B for whistle armor, but the timing on it's very strict. And it only really works for single hit moves that you time against well. Oh, you can also neutral B reverse in the air. So basically how you do this is you press B, and then while you're moving in one direction and pressing B, you quickly flick the stick in the other direction the moment you press B. And just a simple B reverse lets you bring momentum in another direction. It can be really good for crossing people up, so you can do this, this. Oh, I can't do it 3 times around bad. Yeah, this. And then go, up B now. And you just see the air movement's pretty annoying. And like I said, no landing lag on there, really good, like, safety and shields, that's just good. If you have purples, you can, generally speaking, just kind of throw them as well, like, try to some picking here. Look, some purples, and now I have a purple, now I can go, okay, my opponent's in front of me, fast fall, purple. And it just stuffs a lot of approaches, you know, a lot of aerial approaches, you can stuff really slow down, someone's on the ground running at you, you can get that on them and just stop them. And overall, if you have a purple side B, not only is your offense better, but your defense is so much better. And there's not much to say about it, just besides throw it. And, finally, a lot of times I like going to a ledge with Olimar, as opposed to landing on stage directly, just because of the aforementioned reasons. Olimar on the ledge isn't particularly good, of course, he's still very bad on the ledge. It's just that a lot of characters are forced to kind of play 50-50s on the ledge, similar to Olimar, where they have to just guess what he's going to do, and if Olimar guesses right, he can get back on stage and just reset the situation. It's not that bad. He doesn't have particularly good options for ledge, though. You know, he might be do like whistle, like let go ledge, jump, whistle, get through an attack, or like jump off ledge and up being kind of near back on stage, whatever. If you have the purple Pikmin, you can just do like a ledge, jump purple, and then do whatever you want as a follow-up. You can even beat people who expect the purple and then not do it. You know, jump on stage, whatever you want. Purple just make getting off ledge better, but overall, just it's a bit easier to get off the ledge than it is to land against a good opponent generally. And then finally, when Olimar's recovering, of course he's super vulnerable off stage, no hitbox, blah blah. You can throw an attack without B, but unless you're like this height, you won't grab the ledge. And if you're at this height and you're throwing with the attack, I just don't feel like there's need to throw at the attack normally. It's very situational. And so yeah, but one trick I like doing with some off stage is, of course, when you have less Pikmin, you can travel farther and faster with up B. So a lot of times I use the time before up B to get rid of some Pikmin, like, okay, I got rid of my not purple Pikmin there by using up airs to the side piece to like beat him out. And so say we get to ledge, of course with one Pikmin I can easily go, okay, up B, oh, my opponent's gonna go for an attack, hold on, there we go. See how I dipped down with the up B first, then went back up? And you can trick people that way. Next time you can go, instead of dipping down, you go like around the side, and then you just do like this. And of course you can always just go on this stage if you're close enough, which is really nice. You can even bait your opponent out by going like, you're recovering, whatever, you know, get rid of some Pikmin, side B, up B, you going up the side stage? Oh, I messed it up, oops. I went a little bit too far into the stage. The idea is you can just kind of like make your opponent think you're going one way with the up B, like, oh, you're going other side of the stage. And then you're like, nope, I'm tired, it's way too late here. Try one more time. Other side of the stage, I'm not going to the other side of the stage, back there, good. Also, when you mash with up B, you go a little bit faster, which is why I mash. But yeah, otherwise, just, you know, try to see what your opponent's trying to do for edge guards. You know, think going for a spike, do that. If you think your opponent's not going to go for anything, or they're going to expect the bait, you know, you can just go directly to the ledge, no baits involved. Olimar's recovery is still pretty good despite being edge guardable, just mix it up and play smart. And of course, ready to tech. Because a lot of people tend to hit Olimars with back airs, and if you're not ready to tech those back airs, you get stage spiked and that's it. And of course, like, you have Olimar, like, Olimar has gas with his up B, you don't get it back until, not even you land stage, as long as you're not using up B, you get back, gas back, even in the air. So keep that in mind. And I guess the last things we talk about is, managing your lineup, a couple Pikmin color specific things, and, just some moves I didn't mention. So for the most part, when coming to a lineup, you can use Whistle to manage it. I don't like doing that though. I like using up airs to manage a Pikmin because you can just go up air, and it's your fastest Pikmin move besides maybe forward smash. Not sure which one's faster actually, probably same speed. And you can just swap a Pikmin like that really safely, easily, quickly. We want to get rid of, we'll swap out 2 Pikmin, just simple down smash. I want to get to my blue right now, down smash, blue is ready. I want to go get to my yellow, and then I want to swap it out for blue, you know, easy stuff. Of course, if you don't want Pikmin, you can throw it off the map. Actually, a lot of times at the start of a match, I'll do, okay, match started. Immediately throw 2 Pikmin. Throw 2 Pikmin, do a paper grab with blue, pluck twice. And right there, what I did in the first 8 seconds of the match is I got a blue, white, purple lineup. Which means I can now do massive type damage to white, either purple Pikmin for whatever, and then the blue Pikmin for the slightly increased grab range, and the higher damage grab combos. And just simple things like that is really good to know. So always try to keep track of what lineup you have and what the next Pikmin are so you can play around that. Like if I know I have a purple Pikmin, I'm about to get another one and I don't want that, I'll dump my purple Pikmin. Like let's say here I don't want to get 2 blue Pikmin I want at once. So I want to get rid of the blue and the white. Knowing that now whatever I get the red yellow, and now I dump the red, I get blue inside of this lineup again. But now next, if I keep this lineup and get rid of 2 Pikmin, if I keep the purple, I have 2 purple next. So maybe do like, dump the yellow, dump the purple at some point, let them get killed, pluck 2 Pikmin, now I have blue, white, purple again. And so just things like that is really good. And for reference, every Olimar for the most part has their different favorite Pikmin colors and orders. I personally prefer having purple, yellow, or purple, blue as my main lineup. Purple, yellow, unless you have a slightly extended range on your smash attacks in your areas because of the yellow Pikmin. And the blue Pikmin just lets you have that, higher grab output and slightly higher range while not losing any attack power on your regular Pikmin attacks. And, of course, if characters like Rob and they have, fire attacks, I'll get red Pikmin instead of the blue because I can just go through fire attacks that way. At least not let Pikmin die, etc., etc. It's about knowing what your best Pikmin is and knowing what you feel comfortable with. I personally love having third slot available for whatever Pikmin I need in the situation, which is why I say my core is purple, blue, or purple, yellow. I generally speaking don't like having 2 purples because I said you don't have much range on your purple smashes and your grabs. So I feel like you lose out too much on your spacing and just purple side B, it's a very good wall, and it's annoying. And it's good for annoying people. It doesn't give you much damage unless you're very good at getting the follow-ups on it. And even then you can get more damage from just having a regular lineup, I feel like. Like I said, off stage you can throw Pikmin. If your opponent dies, there's a chance to chuck Pikmin. Even if you're just opponents off stage, you can just throw Pikmin and off stage to get a better lineup. A lot of times what I do is when my opponent's at 80+% where side B doesn't latch onto them for that long, instead of throwing Pikmin onto them when they're far away or I knock them out with a forward air, let's my opponent 80 or 70. My opponent's at 70 to hit with a forward smash or forward air. A lot of times what I do is, as a follow-up, just go into side B, try to catch them with this, damage as they're falling, it's annoying, whatever. But if they're 80%, screw it. Instead of getting the damage, I'll just get a different Pikmin out. In the meantime, constantly refresh my lineup. Also, of course, if Pikmin die as you're fighting, that's annoying. So you can get rid of Pikmin that are about to die, that's helpful. And so, for specific colors, by the way, I mentioned that white has max side B damage, also has max pummel damage, and as a result, unlike reds and yellows and blues that people can generally ignore when they're pummeling them, you can ignore white. So if someone ignores a white, they might hit you with a grab to forward air combo, but that white will probably do the same damage back, if not just cause the forward air lag and make the combo end. So when you have whites, the threat of them is so high, especially in their low percents, that you can use them sort of like purples, where you can just offensively follow up in so many ways because of whites. Whether it latches onto some or whether someone's scared of getting latched by a white. And also I've noticed, I'm not sure if it's just placebo effect, that people, when you attack whites, it tends to cause a bit more lag than normal Pikmin. So you can get easier punish. Maybe it's just an easier animation to look at. Whatever it is, I find myself having a lot less difficulty hitting people for hitting whites when they're latched on. And yellow Pikmin are worth noting just because the range of yellow Pikmin attacks is slightly increased. I mean pixels for almost all his attacks, but it's still a noticeable increase. When someone's going to a ledge, if they have a character like Falcon, who has a bad ledge snap range, you can just down smash with the yellow, and it actually catches their B or the ledge snap and just kills them. It sends them at a death angle normally. Also, same with down tilt. Actually, I forgot to mention this. You down tilt the ledge, and someone has a bad ledge snap, or they just try to jump to a ledge directly, or they have no invincibility. Down smash I mean, down tilt just catches that really easily, really quick to time. And it's better if you don't have better to use than down smash if you don't have a yellow Pikmin. Yellow Pikmin also tend to be easier to down air people and get the 2-frame width as well because they need bigger hitboxes, and that's personally why I like them a lot. And now I guess just onto some other moves I didn't mention or talk about much. Most of these moves I didn't talk about much. I didn't talk about much because they're not that good, quite frankly. But let's get into them. Up tilt is sort of like a bad jab / anti-air. You know, it's low damage. I think it's only with 7 damage with all the hits connected. Most of the time you won't get all the hits because you're not using it as someone who's grounded or like next to you normally. So yeah, 7 damage. You don't get much follow-up off this. Maybe low percent you can do like as a mix-up up tilt, up air, but you don't get anything guaranteed out of up tilt. It's super laggy, super easy to punish. I just don't like it much unless someone like right above me. I just need something to hit them ASAP, and I hope they don't down air me. Or you can also, of course, you can actually go over things like low to the ground, down tilts, and down smashes with it as well. But even then, you probably won't get punished because of how laggy it is. Up smash is Olimar is like hard read tool, like super laggy, not the best hitbox. These sweet spots like on the Pikmin itself as it rises, but it kills super early if you connect to it. I can probably kill Sheik on this platform with a fully charged up smash right now. See, if you connect with that, it kills. I only use it when I have a hard read like on the ledge. I read the wall up smash. Someone's in the air, read the air dodge up smash them. Just in general, things like that. But otherwise, not much use for it. I wouldn't call it a core move as a result. Downer is a downer, you know, it just spikes people. It's actually a relatively good downer. Comes out fast, has decent range, not too much cooldown. It's just when you go for a downer on stage, you know, you're leaving Olimar open. You can go for like tech chase with the downer though, like just, you know, catch someone doing whatever downer. The hitbox lingers for a while, making it really nice though for like just catching air dodges, catching 2 frames. We're just like going for like a read sometimes, but overall, nothing specially. Down near a spike box is like the edge of the Pikmin, like the bottom of them, I guess. So it's a bit hard to get, but if you can get a read off stage from an air dodge or just general movement, you can go for a downer, kill him. Keep him when Olimar goes off stage and puts him. If he misses the downer, he puts himself in a really bad spot. So that's why I didn't really talk about much. And it can kill off the sides, of course. Dash attack. Dash attack's actually not that bad by itself. It just doesn't do anything else. Like, has no follow-ups. Of course, if you whiff it or it gets blocked, it's super punishable. The multi-hit properties of it tend to catch people off guard because people will tend to shield hit one of dash attack, and then a reaction like go for shield grab, and then dash attack hit 2 connects because they reacted with a shield grab without waiting for the dash attack to finish. You can always use it to catch some sort of landing, like someone lands right in front of you with an attack. You can trade with dash attack, or maybe you beat the attack with dash attack, or like catch an air dodge potentially. And it doesn't really do much damage or it doesn't follow for anything. It's just there if you need that quick like burst attack. Forward tilt. Forward tilt is essentially a worse forward smash. The only time I'd really use forward tilt is if I have no Pikmin left and I need to get this max range forward smash, and jab pull down tilt won't work. Or if I like want to like lean back to make a move with. Or mainly, if someone has a reflector like, you know, Fox or Mario, I can use forward tilt and kill him with the forward tilt as opposed to them reflecting my smash or forcing me to grab. It's still not great. Probably my least used move with Olimar, to be honest, but it has that situational use. And then Whistle, I talked about a bit already. Not much use in it though. Just, you know, you can cycle Pikmin, but it's a bit inefficient. It does pull Pikmin back, so if you Pikmin off stage dying, you want to get him, you know, you Whistle. And the Super Armor you can use, but hard to time. Sometimes you gotta have like strings or like even bait people to attack you and Whistle and punish, but overall, super read based. Know what you're doing with it. And yeah. And I guess this is almost done, by the way. I just want to talk a bit about Pikmin themselves. Pikmin are kind of stupid. Quite frankly, there's no way to describe Pikmin. They can just do stupid things. I'm trying to like cause that right now. So there we go. Down smash to the ledge. Yellow Pikmin just decided it wants to die. See? And go back, of course, but generally speaking, Pikmin are stupid. Sometimes you'll get hit and they'll just like be knocked off stage and they'll just fall to their death. Sometimes you try whistling them, they won't come back. Sometimes you try attacking with a Pikmin, and for some reason it doesn't follow your line order. And there's nothing I can say. Like, just notice like habits and patterns. Like, you see the down smash, for example. Pikmin, if you do this, if you do an attack, Pikmin dies. Let's see, whistle it back. Oh, see, it didn't even come back. See, this is what I mean when I say Pikmin are stupid. So yeah, just like try to learn like habits and things Pikmin have. So you can keep them alive as long as possible. You can play around their stupidity. And if you notice any like consistent things like the down smash and the ledge, I actually just figured out right now making this video, take note of that so you can plan around it. And for stage choices, I go back. Oops. When it comes to Olimar stages, I said platforms. Battlefield, Dreamland, Lilat, all good for Olimar. I think Lilat D is best stage, and Battlefield, the Dreamland. You can camp into the platforms, limit options, you have landing options yourself. The tilting doesn't mess up his recovery. He can go on the stage as long as he's not messing up, like going in the middle part. And Pikmin go along the slants, they follow properly, so you won't really mess up your spacing. But you mess up the opponent's spacing. So Lilat's just probably best stage for Olimar. Then Battlefield, because platforms for landing, go into the stage. There's not too much room on it, but you don't really need that much room. Because if your opponent can run away from too much, or too far from you, it can be known to do anything to them. So it just limits up options. You don't really kill at the top much with Olimar, so you don't mind the ceiling being higher. I put Dreamland next because it's Battlefield with a lower ceiling and a harder to go underneath the stage, but it's still fine. The wind doesn't really matter either. After that, I don't really like any stage besides that. Like, Duck Hunt can be fine because just nothing wrong with it, really. If Olimar gets spiked, at the edge, he can actually hold towards the stage and tech the wall, and he'll live from the spike. He can use the trees to recover, and he can hide in the grass, and hide his Pikmin colors in the grass to be annoying sometimes, but it's nothing special. After that, you have Town City, which I don't really like for Olimar. People can just run away from him by going to the platforms. He can't really catch people on those platforms because of how high in the air they are. But those give you landing options. If you want to kill with up airs and smashes off the top, it's nice. Then I say FD because no landing options, a lot of stage room, but sometimes all you need is just room to run away from and move around in, but more often than not, I don't want to go here. And then Smashville, people can go into a moving platform and just camp and time you out if they want to. Sounds very lame. No one's really good at it to you in tournament, but it can be annoying when you want to pressure someone. They just say, hey, I'm going to go to the Smashville platform and not care about anything you do for the next minute. So yeah, don't like that. And that's it for the guide. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me on my stream. I'm going to link my stream in the description below, of course. So just go there. You can ask me questions on this video or on my stream, but easily ask me there. Remember to follow me on Twitter to see my updates and whatnot, blah blah blah. And finally, I'm going to link the social media and some videos for other top Olimars, namely Mirren, Richbound, Angbed, Coco, and Greenbase. So all Olimars I think are really good. You can learn a lot from watching them and studying them, and they all have good results at top level play. So check those guys out. I've learned a lot from watching them. Every single one of them actually has taught me something that I use in this video, whether directly or indirectly. And with that, you guys, hope you enjoyed this, and goodbye.